Greetings. My name is Scott Burrus. I'm lead faculty for research and dissertation at Ashford University. This presentation is being offered on behalf of myself and Dr. Melanie Shaw, who is an associate faculty in the College of Doctoral Studies at Ashford. So today we're talking about strategies to promote retention for students that are at risk for completion. The context in which we are talking about these students are, these are students involved in online higher education who engage in open enrollment institutions. They're non-traditional students, meaning they tend to be older, working professionals, and they can sometimes present lack of preparedness for the program, expecting that it's not going to take as much of a commitment, things of that nature. The research questions for this presentation, apologize for that, include: what factors can institutions use to identify at-risk students? What learning readiness factors are associated with online student retention? And what strategies can be used to promote student retention once at-risk students are identified? This research was supported by a lit review because ultimately the goal was to publish this research, but also it's important just to have a good foundational support for any type of inquiry like this. But we rested on the theoretical foundation of student persistence and retention of Tinto, as well as looking at various student skills that have been found in the literature to predict success, the role of faculty, and support services. The study included quantitative analysis, which you will see here. We used a tool called Smarter Measure is where the data came from. Smarter Measure is a tool that has been psychometrically tested and used at a variety of institutions throughout the country. It includes these domains here, which include individual attributes such as motivation, procrastination, willingness to help, life factors such as availability of time, support from family members, things of that nature, learning styles based on multiple intelligence models, technical competencies such as the use of the computer, web searching, things of that nature, reading recall, as well as typing speed and some technical skills such as those. What did we find? Well, interestingly, overall, we found that the things that are likely to facilitate success are those people that tend to not procrastinate. They tend to not have like a very physical learning style, which kind of makes sense. People that are more tactile might want more of a sort of on-ground kind of experience. What we found also is that for those students that were clear on their motivation for enrolling, were more likely to persist. Those students that had stronger reading skills, and interestingly, those students that had solid typing skills. And what's interesting about that, I think, is, I suppose those that have typing skills might have other proficiencies in terms of their adeptness at using and being comfortable with technology. So I don't think there's anything particularly surprising here. We can talk about the implications of, again, having students that are clear about why they want to engage in their program, some skills that they present in terms of being able to not procrastinate, and some technological skills. So what we found is that, having some students that have some good preparation, that if there are quality courses that they can engage in and engage faculty, that there is some success. What does the pathway to success look like? Well, What we do know is that, if a student isn't prepared, again, if they sort of come in thinking that this is going to be a breeze, it's just going to take a few hours a week, that they have a tremendous amount of family obligations and work constraints and other life factors, that those are things that need to be considered to facilitate that road to success. So it's important, during the pre-enrollment conversation to have a good ability to assess skills, to have a program in place for remediation. So let's say a student doesn't have some of those uh, reading skills that we found to be predictive of success, to be able to provide some of that sort of uh, foundational support in terms of language skills, to provide tools in terms of time management can be particularly important for these students. And then to think about ongoing interventions and how to support students as they progress. What we also found as we examined the data in this study is that faculty we at least we recommend, and we've seen this in other research that we've brought forward, is that faculty that develop a mentoring skill can best support student success because they can understand what those life factors are that might be constraining a student's ability to complete. That faculty that's kind of engaged and has that quality student-faculty relationship and healthy communication can sort of, for lack of a better way of saying it, unpack the issues that a student might be having that can hinder their success. And therefore, they can mentor or tailor the way that they are approaching the instruction or other ways of sort of delivering the education to the student. So the more you know, the better able that you can sort of ameliorate the issue or intervene, those kinds of things. So we also found that faculty should encourage students to set a schedule for work completion. This sort of addresses that issue of procrastination, and be provided with regular feedback so that they can continue to be engaged, following the understanding of why they decided to, pursue the degree in the first place. So here again, I don't think any of this is earth-shattering, but I think it affirms the path that institutions like Ashford have taken in terms of looking at a variety of these issues, understanding what students present when they come in, and finding ways to support students. I think one of the biggest takeaways, again, is the extent to which faculty are provided the tools and the ability to inform this process can be helpful. And I think tools like Civitas are crucial in this type of initiative. So that's the presentation. Please feel free to reach out to me at scott.burrus@ashford.edu if you have any questions. And you can look for the results of this paper, which were published in the online journal for distance learning administrators.